Hello, welcome to another episode of the Pianoforte Podcast. I'm your co-host Felicia, and here with me is my co-host Audrey. Hi, Audrey.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, welcome to yet another episode.
Yes.
Before we kind of start with the bigger topic, we have a conundrum. Let's say
Conundrum.
We talk about this off air. About folk music and traditional music. If anybody knows the difference, please let us know.
Or anyone has an idea or definition.
Because even though we can kind of like, tell like, this song is traditional, this song is folk, but we cannot really give a clear.
We cannot draw a line
of
like what makes it folk, what makes it traditional.
Yeah, because if you just like based on like the era or like the year, which could make sense.
Yeah.
Just calling it like a specific genre from a particular because of the particular year and style, it could make sense. But like, I don't know, man, it's difficult.
It's confusing.
Anyway, so there's one song in particular that started this conversation.
Yes, it is
You want to hit
Bengawan Solo. Do you want to hum a bit of the song?
Bengawan Solo.
Do you want to hum or sing a little bit of the song?
Bengawan Solo. Da, 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 da. I don't want to butcher the text. I don't know it by heart.
Right.
Yeah, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
As a proud Indonesian, I'm not proud of this moment.
Yeah, so this is an Indonesian folk song. It is composed in 1940 and composed by Gesang Mato Hartono.
That's a pretty good attempt.
Thank you.
You've done better. You've done better when we did it offline.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
I just got confused
Gesang
again.
Mato Hartono.
Yeah. That's the name. And it's first written by this fella. And then 7 years later, there was a version in Japan. In Japanese, translated, I think. Or maybe rewritten. I'm actually not sure.
I think it's translated.
Yeah. 7 years later, it appeared in Japan. And then this
It got so popular.
A very fun fact, it got very, very popular. So I think, I need to read this part off. I'm just going to be citing Wikipedia for this part. So, the tune became a big hit among the Chinese communities after a Malaysian singer sang it with Mandarin lyrics in 1956.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, there was many other translations in different languages. And then the songs has also been recorded in Burmese, Dutch, Khmer, English, Korean, Swedish, Polish, Russian, Tagalog,
Korean?
Thai,
Tagalog?
Vietnamese,
Okay.
and also in English by a Hong Kong singer.
Okay. Well, the one that shocked me the most is the Korean part.
Why Korean? Why are you surprised by that?
I don't know. The other one seems like, that could totally happen. That's for sure.
So in like different parts of Asia, across Asia, basically.
And Dutch, apparently, because we were
And
under Dutch
Russia.
colony for like
And Russia.
how many ever years.
Yeah.
Russia is also pretty shocking, actually.
Yes.
Now to think about it.
Yeah, and I think what made it interesting also is that when it first became a hit in Japan, or like when it first became a hit, I think people were thinking of the Japanese version, not the Indonesian version. So there was a back and forth.
Yeah.
A bit, I guess. I'm not sure what happened, but afterwards it was determined that the song came from Indonesia. And then like Japan started paying the
Royalty.
royalty, yes. I was like, what's it called?
The royalty.
Yeah. So fun fact for the day.
It's fun fact for the day. How did you come about into like looking up about Bengawan Solo?
I don't know how I came about Bengawan Solo specifically, but I was looking around some other. I was trying to think of what kind of folk tunes I knew. I mean, they're like Rasa Sayang, Chan Mali Chan, which you guys call differently. There's Dayung Sampan.
Rasa Sayang is also Rasa Sayang.
Yeah, Dayung Sampan is interesting because it was first written in, I think, Bahasa, I think Melayu, maybe Indonesian, I'm not sure. But it was later translated into Mandarin, and it was sung by Teresa Teng.
Yeah.
It was sung as Tian Mi Mi. Do you know that song? Yes, it was translated. Do you know that?
I know, but is that what was the original song of that?
Dayung Sampan. What's Dayung? I know Sampan. Dayung is also
Rowing.
Dayung is rowing.
Rowing.
So I'm actually not sure what the original song was about. Something about rowing a boat.
Yeah, Dayung Sampan is
Could have been a
technically
children's
kind
song,
of
could be a love song. Who knows?
I don't know, man.
But it was a ballad
Man.
of sorts.
The thing is, I know this is like an ongoing thing, right? Like, is Rasa Sayang or like Sepasang Mata Bola as well, like another like folk song. Is it Indonesian? Is it Malaysian? Man, we're confused. I would say, as an Indonesian, I want to say that it is Indonesian. However, culturally and just like, yeah, it's just a mishmash at this point. Like, I don't think
I
there's
think that history was quite intertwined in some ways. So it's very hard
yeah,
to really
yeah,
split
history
and
is
say
very
it's this or
intertwined
that.
between Indonesia and Malaysia.
Yeah.
Like, our culture is very similar. We both have rendang. It's different type. It's a slightly different, but we both have rendang, and it's almost just like German has schnitzel, and also the Swiss, they also have a type of schnitzel, and that's fine. At some point,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
similar. It's not the same. It's called maybe the same thing, even though it's not
Haha.
specifically the same thing. It's almost like, like how your mom cooks
Mm-hmm.
and another mom cooks. They might call it the same thing, but they have like their own touch to it.
They have their own twist to it, right? That
Yeah.
it tastes
I
just
think
a
that's
little
like
bit different.
culture in general, especially when you're just like land border with another country.
Mm-hmm.
It's bound to happen. Like, oh yeah, back then it's just like
Yeah. So a
a guy
Nadine
from
was
this region married a girl from that region.
Yeah.
And it's like meh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nadine was in Singapore recently.
Oh yeah, our friend.
Yeah,
our
and then
beautiful friend.
yeah, our friend from school.
Yes.
Hopefully she'll appear on
From
one
uni.
episode. Uni, yeah. Maybe she'll appear on one episode one day. Who knows? It's not planned.
Hopefully, she's a
But
busy
anyway, she's
girl.
really busy. Busy bee. Yeah, and she was eating rojak, and then she commented that the rojak in Singapore has a stronger lime taste. And I guess it's just not very spicy.
Because ours has stronger tamarind. I feel like
Mm-hmm. Is it spicy?
a bit. Yeah,
All right.
you cannot eat it then.
No, I'm not very tolerable to spicy food like chili
Yeah,
stuff.
but that was a good intro, and that was a good segue talking about like a busy person. We've been not particularly chill either. Like, we've been doing stuff.
Yeah.
We've been busy. I don't know how busy you are, but like I feel like I'm pretty busy, that I'm behind on everything.
Mm.
So should I start it with
Yeah.
the busyness stuff? So as you guys might know, like in January, it was the reason why the podcast was postponed a little bit. Because I was just like, I didn't have any free weekends, or technically any free day in January. And February I got a better schedule, I assume to say so. But it was also not very long lasting because we record this in the beginning of March,
Yeah.
and I can tell, like, at least for the next 2 weeks I would be just basically running like back to back to back to back with
Like the hamster on the
stuff to
wheel,
do.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't want to say like that I'm stupid, but I think here's my issue, right? I know that I'm interested in a lot of things. I'm that type of person that, like, I cannot just stick with one thing. I think if you listen to our previous episode, which if you're on YouTube, there will be a link on the corner somewhere, either that corner or that corner, I don't know. And the main thing is that just like I don't think I can just like do one thing and that's it. I am happy about like doing a lot of different things, but also
At the same time.
I am very tired.
Yeah, of course you would be tired, Audrey.
But you know, like when somebody be like, "Oh yeah, we can play a gig. There's this gig that I have coming up," and ask me if I want to play, if I want to join, like, and tell me about the gig. Like, "Oh yeah, we can play this songs and that song and whatnot." And I'm like, "Yeah, it sounds exciting." And I'm still in that metal band as well. And like, there's another friend that asked me if I want to, like, do another project that's like a bit more gospel-y stuff, like Kirk Franklin and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I have done that a little bit during uni, but I like it and I want to do that. But I also, at the same time, if you're just like in 5,000 different projects,
Yeah.
how? That's basically me. I think it's both good and not good. How
Maybe
about
more
you?
good and not good.
How about you? You've been
Pretty much
also
the
very
same old.
busy, no? Yeah, right.
Less busy than you. Much less busy than you.
Sure. I remember the days that you teach like 50 students a week.
Those are long gone, thank
now
goodness.
you teach like half of it.
Less than half.
Really? Okay,
Yeah, less than half of that. Yeah. I still have my compo class I attend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of my energy when I'm not thinking about teaching goes there. So my brain is just constantly like teaching, compo, and then do nothing, which is kind of stupid.
Compo
but yeah.
is composition, right?
Compo.
For
Yeah,
those that are
composition. Yeah.
confused.
Oh,
yeah, I
you
don't
don't use
have
that
any
short form?
classes, but I have like 7,000 band rehearsals.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm thinking of
And
picking
I
up
do-
bass.
Mm-hmm. Sorry?
I'm thinking of picking up the bass, like learning it.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah. Maybe the next update will be, yeah, Audrey, I learned a song on the bass. Who knows? Maybe not.
Funny that you mentioned that, because I had this like small conversation with an old bassist friend of mine
Yeah.
that is now he used to live in Freiburg. He's not anymore in Freiburg, and he basically, we just like catch up a little bit, like for half an hour, updating what's going on, how's life and whatever. And I said to him, I remember particularly this, I don't practice piano as much as I practice singing these days, which is weird. So a little backstory. I did like classical singing lessons. Like I took lessons in like classical singing, and then also
Yeah.
eventually a little bit of like jazzy-ish popular music
Yeah.
singing as well. I mostly also sing in choirs. That's like like head voice is me. I sing in
Mm.
head voice. And so, but because of my background and because of that, I also play clarinet. But
Mhm.
because the clarinet in Germany is a different system, I cannot teach clarinet. So my bosses, when they saw my CV technically, when they like, oh, so you can teach clarinet? No, no, no. Wait, well, that's a French clarinet. Um, but I can teach singing for a couple class.
Mhm.
So I did. I have a couple singing students that are fun. But because I was so head voice focused and back then, and I know like I know how to sing in with other techniques. It's not refined.
Mhm.
So I need to practice a lot more
Yeah.
before I give it to somebody else, so that I can at least polish those parts that I know but just not use very often.
Mhm.
So yeah, talking about that. So I totally am on board with you learning the bass.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And
Bass is
practicing more
great.
piano. I do practice piano. It's just not as much as I would like to.
What do you practice on the piano these days?
I try to do a bit of Bach, like inventions. I for a mo- for yeah, I was trying to go through as many inventions, and then I think I went up to like number 5 or number 6. I went up to F major.
Which one? The one that I sing?
C.
I think number 4.
C.
It's in D minor,
D minor.
so it's probably number 4.
I think so. Yeah, I went up to
Because
F
Bach,
major and then
Bach writes in like 24 keys.
yeah. Let me think.
Major
The
and
one in
minor,
E
respectively.
flat. The one in E flat. I think major or minor. I can't remember. It was quite fun. There was one in E flat. I think.
I don't know.
Or was it E?
I tried fugue, prelude and fugue in B flat once,
How was it?
like for a good like 2 months or so.
Mhm.
Just as a side practice because I wanted to.
Yeah.
It did not stuck with me as well as the C minor one.
Mm.
I have to be honest though, because like when you're in high school and all that, I think because you're more focused on like actually learning it for like to finish that piece, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it sticks so much better rather than
Mhm.
whatever that the songs that I've learned through the uni and now as well, like if I learn a new piece or a new song, it doesn't stick that well.
Mhm.
Maybe because also the amount of the
Yeah.
songs that I learned, like in a year, I would play definitely more than 100 songs. Definitely.
Yeah.
And easy, like even maybe I could say even 200 in a year, right?
Mhm.
But
Definitely
back
possible.
then when we were just like high schoolers or whatever, I don't know, maybe a year I could polish off 10 songs,
Mhm.
10 pieces, which out of those 10 there must be at least like 1 or 2 that would stick the most,
Yeah.
right? But like 1 or 2 from 200 and 1 or 2 from 10 is like a huge difference.
Mm. It
You know
is.
what I mean? So it just doesn't stick anymore. The B flat, the B flat fugue was beautiful though. I tried really hard on that.
Mm.
But yeah, about a busyness, like, for you especially, I think you teach like how like house to house, like door to door. I assume,
Yeah, I go to
right?
my students'
You're a
place. So that takes
Yeah.
a bit of time. That takes a bit of time,
yeah.
won't lie.
Do you think? Because I also have like a little bit of that type of students that I
Mhm.
go to their place. But mostly I teach in music school, which save a lot of time. That's why I can afford a lot. I can have a lot of students.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do feel like those like commute time as like also like it could be productivity is, which is kind of toxic if you think about it. This is a gray area that I feel sometimes that I have a toxic work attitude sometimes. That like in commutes I would just like transcribe songs
Right. On the other hand,
or something.
I believe they call people like that as workaholics. Like constantly wanting to do something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Well,
enjoy
how
that?
about you? You sometimes not.
I am not a workaholic,
Okay.
but I think I pretty much meet deadlines most of the time. I'm like, yeah, most of the time.
Yeah. Most of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. That is what I don't know. I mean, I also meet deadlines most of the time, but that also come into
I
the
think I spend a lot of time thinking. Yeah.
well, if I'm not working, I'm scrolling through Instagram reels.
I would spend a good deal of time just thinking about what exactly I can't really tell you either.
Yeah. But you also like I think well, I don't know. I cannot tell if you have like a better life, like a work-life balance right now after.
I think I constantly need to recalibrate. But you mean in comparing to teaching private versus teaching in a music school?
Mm-hmm.
I prefer my work-life balance now.
Yeah.
In that, I think,
explain
yeah.
further.
Like, number one, I enjoy being able to see the sky and see the sunset.
That's pretty good. That's
like
a privilege.
the downside.
Yes.
The downside is that I'm outside when it rains. But I'm like, I don't mind it that much because on Tuesday it rained like practically the whole day, and yeah, my shoes were basically soaked. My socks were soaked through, and I went to my students' place. I'm sorry, my socks are wet. I'll just be leaving
That
like
is
wet
not.
footprints across the floor.
Oh yeah. I understand that.
And I'm like, whoops, sorry.
Sometimes I also have that. I haven't had that in particular, like wet socks.
But that is by far the worst so far. Like, I don't think I've encountered like this heavier rain for quite a while.
Okay, that is one thing, but like, other, but yeah, rain.
But I think the other thing is nice.
inevitable.
Yeah, the weather is the weather. But I think the other thing that's nice is to get to see my students in their home environment.
So yeah, that is a good thing that that you mentioned that, because a lot of like smallish problems, like
Yeah.
sitting positions or whatever.
Yeah.
So like if you're just fixing it in class, like in the music school, they would obey you there, but they cannot apply that at home sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you're going to their home, like you can just like, this is, you need to see, like at home, this is how much you sit.
Yeah,
For,
like how far
like,
you have
how
to
far
be,
you sit.
how much of the chair you
Or
sit
how-
on.
How high the chair
Yeah.
as well.
Yes. Yeah.
The chair height for children
Yeah.
as well. No, also for
And then like
adults.
sometimes looking for stools, be like, you need a stool,
Oh, for the feet.
right?
The
Yeah,
dangly
for the
feet.
the dangling feet. Yeah. They just start swinging their feet around.
Yeah. You know what I actually dislike more about dangly feet, and they don't
Yeah?
have stools or anything
Yes?
like that? They slide off.
Oh,
over the-
yeah, they slide.
And then they play like this, like the elbows are behind the
Yeah. I think
your
I had a name for, like, when the hands are
middle line.
stretched straight out, I call that zombie hands. And then when the hands are like this, I think I call it dinosaur hands. I'm like, I see dinosaur hands.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
dinosaur makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
A T-Rex.
Yeah,
T-Rex.
yeah.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Man,
What are you thinking?
man.
Yeah. So
I'm
like little
so-
cues,
yeah.
just.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
But I think also
That's
like
that's cool though.
because some of them I
Mhm.
teach like siblings separately, but I teach like brother and sister or like
Yeah.
And
like
then
back to back then. Yeah,
what is
back-to-back
very nice is
lessons.
that in between you get to see the sibling interaction, and it's kind of nice to see like the like how they behave basically, because when they are my
Have you s-
student, it's different from
Mhm.
when they are their sibling kind of thing. You know, they
Yeah.
exhibit different behaviors.
Have you had your student sibling to help you teach?
No, I've been keeping the
You know
classes very
the-
separate right now.
Do you know the Muso? The
Oh yes,
Australian.
I saw Instagram.
Yeah.
They upload videos of like
sometimes
lesson
take
times,
the
right?
siblings to help, like maybe just like clap along or
Yeah.
whatnot, or like help by distracting so that the student can learn to focus better or something like that. Or there's definitely some stuff, and yeah, I don't have that many like stuff like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I teach mostly also just single lessons, and they are not like family by any means.
Yeah.
I do, however, have like two friends that like they come back to back, and they sometimes play as duet for student concerts and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like sometimes kind of motivating as well, because then they would practice together or whatnot. Even
Oh,
though, yeah, it could be
Yeah.
a chaos as well to have two children in a room.
Well, it depends on their relationship.
Yeah.
If
true.
they get along, it's fine. If they are constantly squabbling,
Yeah.
then
I have brother and sister that only would work if I say like, oh, you're better than your sister. Then
Wow.
the sister would work on the things. And then if the sister got better, and then I would say like, oh yeah, now the sister is better. And then the brother would start working on things. Like
that feels like some sort of like reverse psychology, but not quite.
but they ask me like, I'm better than her, right? All the time. They just want to beat the other
Very
person. I'm
competitive,
just like,
basically.
okay, if that's your fuel. that's not how I. But sometimes I still say like, okay, try to play this piece like a whole through, and I also like have like a point system with them, because they're the ones that like, no, I did better, I want to get a point, like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sure. But I still also like try to play it fair by like, okay, do it once. If you have like this amount of mistake, then you get like 2 stars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you play it perfectly, then you get 5 stars or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
it's not comparing them to the sibling, but comparing
Mhm.
them to themselves.
Yeah.
Reward expectations and reward and whatnot. But yeah, it's kind of tricky. A lot, some students are highly like motivated because of that. Like
Yeah.
only one of my students like that. The rest are more like, oh yeah, I can play this song, and they're happy about it. That's
I
it.
actually have a pair of siblings. They are
Mhm.
they are a bit more squabbly. They are quite squabbly. So brother and sister. So elder sister, younger brother. And then what happens is like they have things like they have like my song kind of thing. Like the elder sister will be like, this is my song. So she'll be like telling her brother, you cannot learn this song because it's my song. And then the brother will have his own version. This is my song, you cannot learn it. So if one person learns the other song, the other person will steal the other like song that the sibling like they claim on.
I understand.
And
that.
it's like,
It's rarely happened to me. It's more like if I have another pair of like friends that come to piano lessons back to back and they want to play actually like the same songs. Oh, she's doing that. I also want to do that. Okay. Great. Less planning for me.
Yeah. You're just like, here's a song, prepared already, extra copy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how did we go here? Oh, because you go from house to house. And
yes,
whatnot.
I go house to house. And home environments.
Door to door. Yeah.
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 Do you
Actually,
have a preference
really
between teaching, like, do you have a preference between teaching, going to the student's house and teaching them, and going to the music school to teach? Like a very strong preference.
Music school. Music school. I mean, here's the thing. The commute. Even though I only have like 3 home students, whatever, it's a commute.
Yeah, it is.
I think I feel like more. Also, it's a lot more productive in my side if I have like a full day in one spot. That's it. Rather than going from one house to another house to another house, and then it's also I kind of also feel like I cannot do anything before that. Maybe I can, like I can have an appointment before that.
Right, yeah.
But I also would be kind of nervous to not be late to go there.
Right. I think I had
and
a bit
also
of
like
that.
after that, also I'm just tired.
You're right. I think I had a bit of that when I first started, like not wanting to do much in the mornings because I'm not sure that, like, I just wanted to make sure I'm on time. But once I figured the schedule out, like it was a lot easier to be like, okay, I'm going to spend like 2 hours on composing. And then
well, I still work out in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there are certain
Like,
things that we just don't skip, but
I do some personal stuff, but I don't want to like just But
yeah.
But that's like, it's okay. It's all right. I also think I like to teach in a music school because the places that I work at, the day I teach at, it's not that many teachers. It's not that chaotic as so like to say.
Yeah.
So like it's very intimate, like, so to say. Like it's like I have like 2 colleagues. That's it.
Right.
Kind of. So I can also like talk with my colleagues a little bit and like maybe also share some repertoire because that happens once in a while.
Yes.
Like, so it also helps me, right? Like if you have kind of similar repertoire with your colleagues, it's gonna also save you time and energy, and definitely it is some sort of different productivity, I think, in terms of relation, like between colleagues. I think that's why I still enjoy it.
Yeah, actually, what you mentioned about that is one thing that that was nice to have when I was at music school, like having connections with other teachers, just like in between students. But honestly, what happened usually is that we just don't have time to talk. But there's a kind of solidarity in just being tired together. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in one of the music school, I also just we just like talk about if our students are sick at the same time. like
yeah.
at 3 p.m. my student is not coming and their student is also not coming. Like, hey, what's up? Yeah, nice coffee.
Yeah.
What you playing these days? Maybe a little bit of that. Or maybe like, oh, I heard you play this song earlier. Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like the
Small
little
talk.
interactions that's
Yeah, but
a
I
little
think
nice to
it's
have.
also like
Yeah.
it's also like building connections still.
Yeah.
So it's still it's you know, like a lot of people say like rest is also productive.
Rest?
I think that is rest, like
Mhm.
taking rest,
Yeah.
taking breaks.
I think so.
It's
I
also
really think so.
productive. Which I'm terrible at. I'm terrible at taking breaks.
I agree. You need more breaks, Audrey.
I do. But yeah, like just chatting with your colleagues or like
Yeah.
yeah. That's also productive.
And on topic of rest,
mhm.
yeah, on the topic of rest, I also think it's important for students to have, because I know you guys have like summer breaks. Over here we don't really have
Yep.
summer breaks. Lessons go around
Mhm.
through the year. So sometimes
Mhm.
I'll just be like, usually I take the 5th week off, but it's a little bit more haphazard than that. No, but I do plan it out. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, there won't be lesson on this date kind of thing. And I think it's very useful for the student, but also for me.
Sure, definitely.
Because like
I'm
going
taking
the
a
next
huge
week
break
after.
this August, I'm not gonna do anything.
That's good. You'll deserve break, Audrey.
Yeah. I'm already planning for the summer. I'm like, this summer I'm not gonna be working at all. I'm not gonna have gigs, whatever. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna enjoy my time.
Yeah.
But that is one, like that is a thing. That is, yeah, I can understand that a lot. Yeah. It's both like very, how to say this. I also notice as a student, like it's like because sometimes when you're burnt out in that sense, like
Mm-hmm.
you can do whatever you do and it actually does not
It doesn't value add.
have the same result.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah, I think burnout also exists for this, like I mean, like obviously it's just for
Yeah.
the students and as well as for the teachers and whatnot, and burnout can easily be avoided just by saying, yeah, you don't have to practice if it's holiday. Take your time. Like
Yeah.
sometimes my students come back to lessons and be like, after holidays, like, I did not practice. I went on a ski holiday. I was like, then enjoy your ski holiday. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is a holiday.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, so now take 10 laps in the court.
I'll play the skill
in
like
front
10
of
times
the
through or
music
something.
school.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's totally it's chill, and it's especially especially like in music, it's like it's so easy from its being something that is fun and rewarding into something
Mhm.
that's like dragging you.
And very, very dry and very, very bothersome
Yeah.
and tiresome and tedious, right?
Yeah, it could really
Yeah.
really switch. So to keep, I think for me that's why I have 7,000 project, even though it leaves me with no breaks, but it at least makes me feel like I have different things. I have this. I have that. You know,
It makes
I
you feel
have different
fulfilled, right?
outlets. Yeah,
That's
I
important.
have different outlets. I think that's the main thing of my
Mhm.
productivity, which we started from talking productivity and then talking about our students and then
Going back full circle into productivity again.
yeah. So I don't know how about you, but I think we can kind of end this really weird rambly. Do you still have any other productivity stuff that we want to talk about?
Nah, I think that's about it
That's about it. Yeah.
for now.
I mean, productivity is very sensitive. Like I would say everybody reacts differently. And
everyone has different things that works for them.
yeah.
Right?
So
like if I took
this
on
is-
as many projects as you did,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think I won't have enough sleep.
I'm on the brink, baby. I'm on the brink sometimes. I also feel that. I'm like, oof, shouldn't
But I
have said
think
this.
if you have the things I'm doing, like, it's not going to work very well for you either.
No, I don't
I think we have
so.
very different working styles and preferences.
I was sick, right? Like the previous episode I mentioned I had COVID for the second time, and I
Yes.
kind of isolate myself as one does, and I noticed that I actually have more anxiety if I just stay at home and do nothing.
Oh, I love that time.
Oh, well, I do like it once in a while. I like it like at least once a week, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no. After like 2 days, I'm like, so what can I do now? What should I do now? I feel like I'm already behind on a lot of things, so.
Right.
Yeah, but that's very personal, so it's just
It is, yeah. Yeah.
all in all. All in all, this is a very random, wishy-washy episode, but I think it's pretty accurate on like our life.
Yes. So
Yeah. So
now
let's
we
wrap this up.
mm-hmm.
Now it's time for our recommendation. It's now time for our recommendation. Jesus. So,
Do you want to start?
do you want to start? Should I start?
You can start.
I start. Okay. I I want to start with the recommendation session with a specific song.
Yeah.
That I've been. Well, I don't want to say addicted to, but I do listen to it a lot.
You're a earworm.
It's like, hear me out. It's a gospel rap.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a rapper named Governor B. He's London based. And the song is called Fall on Me. It's from Governor B and Reg 32 from Governor B's album Everywhere Plus Nowhere. Black Edition Deluxe. Well, according to Spotify at least. We can believe Spotify, right? The song title and the album name should not be wrong. Anyway, yeah. It's gospel rap, hip hop, and it's fun. It's the hook especially is very melodious. It's like blessings fall on me, blessings fall let good things fall on me, something like that. And it's just like it's catchy, and it has a good message.
Yeah, remember you're big about
I like
messages.
it. Yeah, the message is good. And well, I know him from the YouTube channel Korean Englishman that they share about Korean culture and stuff. Their Governor B is one of the guests with another rapper, Barney Artist. But yeah, this song in particular, I repeat it so often. It's just good. Yes. That's it. That's my recommendation.
And mine is a piano piece by a composer called Arthur Honegger. It's from a set of like 7 short pieces, and this is number 7. It's called Violent.
Violent?
Yeah, that's the one I let you listen to just now. Didn't it sound a bit violent?
No, it doesn't sound violent.
Yeah, it is violent,
Well,
and it's very articulated. A lot of dissonances.
It is very articulated.
Very jumpy, and lots of like surprises of like, I think it was descending or ascending. It was like a passage of it just continually like moves nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think
very
it's violent though. It's a bit hyperactive, but it's not violent.
it's very
in my
hyperactive.
opinion.
Yeah, no, because the thing is that piece caught my attention because I was trying to go through like listen to more French composers, and Onega, I believe he is from Switzerland, but he was largely
Which
based
in
around like
all,
France. He was
but
kind of based
some
in France.
part of Swiss is very it's like bordered with France.
Yeah,
as
they
well,
have
right?
different. Yeah, this one I need to look it up. So one of the reasons that this one caught my attention is because I was kind of listening for a piece of music to kind of orchestrate.
Oh.
And that piece is actually really good for
So
orchestration
is this your
because so many
homework?
things. Yeah, I kind of finished it already. I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think I need to add more articulations. I'm not done with articulations. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, hang on. So, Onegger was a Swiss composer who was born in France and he lived most of his life in Paris. So, how did he become a Swiss?
I don't know. Double
I don't know.
citizenship? Maybe.
Oh, his parents are Swiss, but he was
So,
born in
yeah,
France.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We also have a friends plural that are born I think born in France. Maybe I don't really know where they were born, but their family are from Swiss, but they resides in France.
Right.
I will tell you after we go off air.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's not we're talking bad about them, but I don't know if they want to be name dropped here.
Basically, this is like about tea that maybe shouldn't be spilled.
There's no tea about them. They're nice people. They're very
Okay.
nice.
Then that's good.
I like them. I like them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're
anyway,
nice
that's my recommendation.
Great musicians. Yeah.
Yes. And
That's
for
the
the
end.
show notes, so the recommendations
Yeah.
can be found on the show notes on our blog at www.pianofortepodcast.wordpress.com. All one word. Pianoforte
That
Podcast is one word.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
It's yeah. It's like what? All one word.
Well, technically, it'll be one word because there's no spaces.
Technically, it does. If you
Technically.
write it on like a word
On a Word
file,
document, right?
a document, it would count as one word. Well, why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
This is a sign that we should go.
Yes.
We should definitely go. We're
We
delirious.
should go. Yeah.
So with that,
Bye.
bye bye.